So another division strategy is using partial quotient. So it looks like this. It's like in the house, and we drag this all the way down to solve. So it's kind of a one step before you learn long division in 5th grade. So we have 148 divided by 4. So my dividend, the bigger one, is in the house, 148. And my divisor, 4, is outside. Because I want to think 4 times what gets me 148. Okay? So how we do partial quotient is, well, we look and see what the place value is. This is in the hundreds. So I can start off saying, well, what's 4 times 100? 4 times 100 would be 400. That's way over 100, right? So I know it's not going to be in the hundreds, so I need to think in the tens place. So I start thinking, okay, well, what's 4 times 10? Well, 4 times 10 is 40, and 148, that's a long way. So I'm going to keep going up to the next 10, which is 20. 4 times 20, 80. 4 times 30, meaning 4 times 3 is 12, and then tack on a 0, so 120. We're getting a little closer. 4 times 40, so 4 times 4 is 16, tack on a 0. Wait a minute, this is 160, and this is 148. So we went over, right? In division, we cannot go over. So I need to stick with this 120. So I'm going to put 120 down below because I'm going to subtract it because I want it to be smaller. And then if I remember, it took me, this was 10, 20, 30. So I'm going to write 30 on this side because this is going to be important later. So whatever I had to times it is going to go on the outside, and what the answer was, we're going to subtract from. So now we have 148 minus 120. 8 minus 0 is 8. 4 minus 2 is 2. So now we have 28. So now again, I need to think, well, 4 times what is close to 28, or it is 28? Okay, so I start thinking, well, what's 4 times 1? 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Keep going. And 4 times 7 gives me exactly 28. So I'm putting 28 down there. And remember, it was 4 times 7. 7 goes on the outside. 28 minus 28 is just 0. So I have nothing left over. So now I can figure out my answer, which is I'm just adding these two up, which would give me 37. So 4 times 37 is 148. Meaning 148 divided by 4 is 37. Let's look at this one. So 164 divided by 6. So again, 164 is going to go in the house, 6 is on the outside. So it's still a hundreds place. So let's start with what's 6 times 100 would be 600. That's way over. So I know it's going to be, again, some sort of tens. So start counting. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 20. So 6 times 2 is 12, and tack on a 0, 120. 6 times 30. 6 times 3 is 18. Tack on a 0, 180. Oh, I went over. This is 160. So I need to keep my 120 again and put that below to subtract. And then remember, it took us 10, 20 times. 6 times 20 gave that 120. Now we can subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. And 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay? So now again, we need to think 6 times what gets us close to 44. Okay, so I am going to I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to start with 6 times 4. 6 times 4 I know is 24. Okay, I got a lot of ways to go still. So 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 8, 48. Okay, I went over, so I know I need to stop here and keep my 42. So I'm going to put my 42 down below to subtract, and that took me, remember, that was 4, 5, 6, 7 times. 6 times 7 was a 42. And now I got 44 minus 42, which is just 2. But wait a minute, there's nothing else to bring down or anything. So let's add these up first. 20 plus the 7 is 27. And then this, guys, is just my leftover or my remainder. So I'd write it as 27R2. 27R2. So this doesn't evenly divide. There's some left over. So 27 plus another 2 times 6 equals 164. 164 divided by 6 equals 27, remainder 2.